Hello, good day, beautiful people. I am the Inspirational Lady Noble 365 Tarot. Welcome to my channel. I greatly appreciate you being here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I trust you will love this vibe, and everything you need to know about me is in the description below. This will be past, present, or future, you or someone around you. So take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. This is a general read. This is not a personal read. If you like a personal read, check out the description below. Remember that tarot is a tool, it is not the final rule. So it's a good idea to have an empty cup when you are on Lady Noble's channel and you want to see what's ahead. Okay. Thank you all for your kindness and your support. Hello there. Hey. All right. Hope you're doing wonderful and hope you're feeling great. Okay. Step into the energy and see what's going on for the collective. This collective is known for their highest good. Okay. For their highest good. Okay. All right. There is someone collective that is tired of being distant from you. Instantly, while I was shuffling the cards, there is someone who is tired of keeping their distance from you. This could be someone maybe that you cut off for any particular reason, or someone who is just they're tired of being separated from you or distant from you. They are desiring to see you or talk to you. This could be a family member, a friend. This could also be a lover. But they're nervous and they are anxious, okay? About trying to approach you. And so now I'm picking up, this could be maybe when you last spoke to this person or you were in the presence of each other. Maybe it wasn't positive, maybe it wasn't pleasant, but either way, they're very nervous and anxious about trying to talk to you, trying to meet up with you, maybe emailing you, text messaging you. They're very nervous about connecting, but they are desiring. They're missing your energy. They're missing your aura. They could be reminiscing on times you spent together, whether this person was disrespectful or cruel. Usually, you don't miss your water till your well run dry. When a person chooses to pull their energy away from you and you no longer have access to them, that's when people choose to recognize how great of a person that individual is, when they take their energy away, when they no longer have access or they're no longer in contact. So this person could be in reflection mode. This could be someone you dated also, maybe someone you dated and things didn't work out as you thought it would. Because now they look at you as the Empress, okay? With all this green here, they look at you as the Empress, someone very abundant. You're in alignment at this time. And they also could be under the impression, whether they know your current happenings, Spirit is saying, they could be under the impression that you're either in a relationship, you move forward, or that you're very occupied. They could also be under the impression that you're not who you used to be. They are for sure, that there's been some kind of change in your life, whether this is come from someone that could possibly be in contact with you that knows them. So you could have a friend or an associate in common, okay, who's maybe went back and said, hey, I've seen the collective and they're doing this and they're doing that. So this person, they understand that time has passed, but they know that there's been some kind of change in your life, whether it's you being more confident, whether it's you showing more self-respect, more self-love to yourself, whether it's you not allowing people from your past to return, whatever it is. They know it's been some kind of change in your life. And with this Empress energy here, this energy here is someone very smart, very wise, male or female, gender is fluid in tarot, but very spiritually inclined and in tune, very nurturing and caring of thyself. But the Empress is not a weak person, okay? The Empress is not someone whom you can walk over. Nurturing, caring, and loving, but I'm picking up you have boundaries as well. You do pick and choose who you choose to give your energy and attention to, which is very wise. You're not one of those people. Maybe in the past you were naive. Maybe you've made a mistake of giving your energy and time to the wrong person, but that is behind you. You're no longer that person. And I believe that's what's bothering whoever is missing you. They're tired of being denied access. They know you are not collective, male or female. They know you are not who you used to be. So maybe you were nicer in the past and they are afraid that, hey, the collective has confidence now. I can't have my way with them. I can't get away with what I used to get away with. I can't come to them pretending to be something that I'm not. Maybe they are afraid that you're going to recognize something about them, okay? You're going to recognize that their intentions are unpure. You're going to recognize that they really don't miss you. Maybe they're just coming to just be nosy. Some people love the idea of you, but they're not willing to do what it takes to maintain a connection with you. And this doesn't just apply to romantic connections. This could also be family, friends, associates. A person will love the idea of you because they want to harvest your energy. They love your energy that you bring. They love to cipher the frequency that you bring, but the work that is necessary to maintain that connection, so that they don't have to be afraid of approaching someone who is in the Empress status, because this is a positive energy. But if you are afraid to approach someone who's in the Empress status, well, it's evident that their intentions are not pure. So Spirit is saying this is just a spiritual notification to just be mindful of allowing people who you do not socialize with, or it's been a bit of a time since you've been in contact, of allowing them to re-enter your life. Because if you're indecisive about whether or not you should let someone into your life, Spirit is saying for you to think about why is it that you stopped talking to them in the first place. And your answer will be in that, or your answer will be in that question right there, okay? And so next we have the Two of Swords, okay? And so the Two of Swords, this is you having more balance, okay, in your life. You're no longer in balance. You have more balance in your life, okay? You could have Libra in placement in your chart, okay? We have Libra out here twice, as well as Taurus with the Empress energy, okay? So lots of Venusian energy, lots of sensuality, male or female. You're very confident, okay? You know who you are. You're not out here all willy-nilly. You know who you are, you know where you are, and you understand what path you desire to move forward on. You're not confused. You're not under an illusion. And so you're not who you used to be. You're not that foolish one. You're not the one they could maybe drop their children off and not give you an explanation of when they're coming back. You're not that one that's going to say, hey, go ahead in the fridge. It doesn't matter. Eat what you want. You're no longer an evolving door. You're not treating yourself like that. So you have boundaries, and you're enforcing your boundaries, okay? You're not just saying it and the same thing continuing to happen. Maybe in the past that was likely you would make complaints or speak about what you don't like and what you don't want, but maybe those habits continue. Now you are enforcing those things, okay? You are enforcing your boundaries. You're making people who want to be in your life honor and respect your boundaries, and you are doing the same in return. This isn't a one-way street, okay? And so that's why the balance is here, and that's why the Empress energy is here. And so just as well as you want people to respect you, you are respecting them in return. You're not forcing yourself like this person is, collective, who's dwelling on you. You're not forcing yourself or trying to assert yourself where you haven't been invited to. You should never assert yourself if you haven't been invited and your energy isn't wanted. It comes off just as weird, kind of like a stalkerish vibe, like possessiveness, narcissistic, maybe some kind of personality disorder whenever a person wants to assert themselves where they have not been invited. It just doesn't make sense. And so we have judgment out here, okay? And with the signs, keep humans pure. That is a metaphor for you are keeping things straightforward. You have clarity in your life now. You are no longer looking out of rose-colored glasses. You are not blinded. This blindfold is not here. It's just an illusion. That blindfold is something that people are hoping and desiring to be there, but it's not. You have answered the call to step into your power. And there are people I'm picking up who are just not in agreement with it. But guess what? That does not matter, and that's not for you to be concerned with. This is just a spiritual notification just to let you know that the progress that you are making, it's ruffling feathers, it's causing people to be in conflict with themselves. It's also causing people to question their motives towards you, their conversations regarding you, their misjudgments when it comes to the collective. It's making them recanter and rethink some things. with the Nine of Swords energy, they are in worry at this time. They could be suffering, going through some kind of anxiety, some kind of moment or situation that is causing dis-ease or discontent for them. And so what they want to do is come and inflict their energy onto you. People will do that. When they run out of resources or places to go or people to listen to them, even if they have not talked to you in a long period of time and they're going through a hardship, whether it's financial, emotional, spiritual, people will try to reattach themselves just to flick their energy onto you, just to flick it like a big green booger, the one with the mucus attached to it. Okay. They will try to reattach just to dump their energy onto you. So you're not allowing them to impose on your energy. You understand, that's part of your boundary. So Spirit is just saying, be aware of that. We have the king of coins here. So this is prosperity here. This is material wealth. This is leadership and lots of success. So either way, you're very determined to maintain your status, whatever you're building, whatever you're working on. This could be anything for you. This could just be your peace of mind, collective. This could be you just maintaining your peace of mind. You could be saying to yourself, look, I'm not allowing anyone or anything to disturb my peace. Not at this time. I come too far. I work too hard. And you don't need to give anyone an explanation. It's not about being arrogant. It's about realizing that you are an adult. And because you are an adult, you can do adult things. Like you don't have to announce your arrival or your departure, and you don't need to give an explanation. You don't need to explain to everyone because the only thing it will turn into is a disagreement. If you're letting someone know or you're confirming that you're basically confirming that things are different and you're standing your power, the first energy they're going to go to is aggression. They're going to be, so it's really like a waste of time. So Spirit is just saying, just focus on you. And, I'm pretty sure there are new people who are crossing your path romantically, socially, even new family. Okay. You're meeting people who feel like family, who treat you like family. Okay. Family are those who allow you to be yourself confidently, respectfully so. And you don't have to apologize for who you are or explain. Okay. So you're meeting new people. Allow this new energy to come into your life, to enter your life. I wanted to say, excuse me. Allow this new energy to enter your life and allow yourself to embrace and experience these new people and opportunities. And so you do that and you can lock that in by not going back and opening karmic cycles. A good example of what I'm speaking of, collective, would be you letting go. You're no longer dealing with a best friend from your past whom you were once good friends, but you found out, this is a karmic. They betrayed you in some way. Okay. So it was a karmic relationship. It was meant for you to meet each other. It was meant for you to be friends with each other, but you no longer deal with them. It's been several years, maybe 5 years. We'll say that. And then all of a sudden, 5 years has passed. They've moved on. You've moved on. You're not talking to each other. You're not hanging out with each other. You meet a new friend. This new friend becomes your new best friend. And while you're entertaining and hanging out and getting to know this new best friend, you're having a wonderful time. A lot of like-minded energy, male or female, doesn't matter. But all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you're out and about and you run into who? Your old best friend, the one you haven't talked to in 5 years. Now you severed ties because they betrayed you in some kind of way. And you decide, because they tell you their birthday is coming up, to accept the invitation. You take the new best friend to the old best friend's birthday party and some more ish pop off. That's a good example. That's a good example of how opening up old karmic doors can ruin what you have going on currently, as well as sometimes have your success and victory and prosperity that you have going on currently, Empress energy, which is abundance, disappear or start to dismantle. And you'll wonder, like, wait a minute, I just had a business deal going on. Wait a minute, they just told me I was approved for, and all of a sudden things start to dismantle in your life. It's because you are sending out the signal that you are not ready when you reach back into the past with situations, people, places, and things, situations that is not for your highest good. Now, that does not apply to everybody, but people whom you have experienced and who have took you through the ringer, only you know your story. This could be family, friends, your man, your neighbor, your cousin, your sibling, whoever. Any kind of nefarious or hardship or disrespect or betrayal, that has left a very impactful negative imprint on your spirit, and you find yourself having to heal from it and overcome from it. Those are karmic lessons and karmic connections, but it doesn't mean to stay there. But because we are programmed and we think that we're supposed to stay in relationships and connections, that it makes us smarter, it makes us stronger. Yes, I'm about to say it, collective, but we've been through so much. Yeah, we've been through so much. The idea that you can repeat that you've been through so much should have you wanting to look at, okay, we've been through some things, but does the bad outweigh the good? And if the bad outweighs the good, and it's a cycle, and it's burdening you, it's stressing you out, male or female, it's wearing on your self-esteem, it's hindering your growth and development, then that's something you have to consider if you want to let it go. We have free will. People can do whatever they want, but there's a repercussion for our actions. We have free will. You can do whatever you want. No one can tell you what to do. But there's a repercussion. So there's no need to battle, oh, I'm going to stay, I'm going to go. You can do whatever you want because that's your life. And you have to deal with the response of your actions, nobody else. Point blank, period. That's just what it is. So you got something good going on, and you didn't heal from the past. And like I said, that was a good example. All of a sudden, oh, it's my birthday. You should come to my party. I ain't seen you in so many years. Yeah, this is my old friend from so and so. And you link back up with them. You go to their party, their invite, and whatever it is, some more chaos jump off between you and this person. And other things in your life start to unfold and dismantle, in your business, with your finances, with your career, in your home. You like, wait a minute, what happened? You reach back into that karmic cycle. You send out the signal. It's like you press the activation button, like, oh, I'm not finished. I want to go back to the past. Oh, I'm not finished. I don't want no blessings and favor. Oh, I'm not finished. I want to be in a toxic relationship. Oh, I don't want to be nobody that's emotionally available. Every time you reach back. So it's not about your belief system, as I explained this. Somebody need to hear this. It's just like gravity. It is what it is. Like the air that you're breathing. It's not about if you believe you're breathing in air or not. It's just is what it is. It's some form of air, whether it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever your belief system is, whatever you want to say, we ain't got to argue about it. It is what it is. And so just because we don't believe in something don't mean it's not happening. That's the fun fact about being in the matrix. That's the fun fact. So just because you don't believe in something doesn't mean it's not occurring. So depending on your vibration and your frequency, when you're really doing the work and surrendering the pain, the drama, the trauma, who hurt you, who called you big head, who talked about you had big feet, who called you funky breath, who said you ain't good in the bed. When you get over all those things, you be ready to level up and open your eyes. And you won't become offended when you receive a message about growth and development. That's for somebody that needs to really hear that. But there is a person or some people who wants to have access to you. You are making progress. You have done the work that is necessary. And I see you as someone who's going to continue to do the work. But this message, this spiritual notification, is just to remind you, be careful. You can do what you please. You have free will. It is your life. No one can tell you what to do. Because after doing so much work on yourself, after making so many sacrifices, after, crying and losing sleep and stressing and having anxiety and worrying and wondering and praying and manifesting and meditating and writing petitions and grounding yourself and talking about it and wondering when and how, and come on now. Like after all this work, all this work that has been applied, male or female, you know who you are. Who is doing the work, who's actually surrendering your pain, any pain or pressure or dis-ease or discomfort, who's doing the work. Someone likes to journal, even if you're journaling every day. Someone likes to write. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. Be mindful of reaching back. Be mindful. They're already aware. They know that you are progressing. If you're someone who wants someone to see you, we have to talk about it, because sometimes we want somebody to see us. We want them to see what we done. Like little kids. Look, Ma, I got a drawing. Sometimes that infantile, that childish, that youthful nature is inside the adult. It's just dormant energy. And when we have some kind of progress or success, sometimes we want people to see us. Look what I did. Look what I got. Well, Spirit is saying they already know. They already know. And that's why they are afraid to approach you directly. This person could be riding past your home. If you're on social media, they could be watching you on social media, watching you through a fake account. They could be, oh, wait, I'm seeing somebody look, wow, from their son or daughter's account on social media. Maybe they're typing in your name and checking your page or what you're doing. Even if you don't have a platform, you could just load things from time to time, maybe pictures, maybe memes. But whatever it is, they're studying, they're watching, they're critiquing because they want to have access. But just because a person want to have access does not mean their intentions are pure. Not all the time. Not all the time. Everybody's story is different. Everyone's life is different. Okay? People enjoy the idea of having access to you. A lot of people want to just test the waters, to see can they still connect with you. They don't want nothing at all. There are people who want to come disturb your peace. There are people who want to come and sabotage. And a lot of them don't want nothing at all because they've had their moment, and that's what karmics do. They've had their moment with you, whether this is family or not. This could be your mother or your father, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your uncle. Okay? Whomever it is for you. An ex-lover, ex-husband, ex-wife. Your side piece, your two-piece in a biscuit. But there are different reasons. And a lot of people do it just to, stroke their ego. They're so ego-driven. There's nothing wrong with the ego if you know how to utilize it. Discipline it when it tries to get ahead of you and have you do foolishness. But a lot of people move, just egotistical behavior. Oh, I want to see. I bet you I can still. Yeah, talking about they successful. I bet you I can still get that. Watch this. Oh, watch this. Talking about he done moved on. Watch this, girl. I'm about to DM him and see can I get his attention. For what? And then what? And then what? Now I'm hearing Jeezy. Oh boy. Okay, and then what? You're gonna reach out, if you're watching Cross Watcher to this person, and then what? Like, let's just be honest. For what and then what? For what and then what? And then what are we saying? When we reach out, to places we ain't been invited, or we know in our hearts we're not wanted. And that's not to be cold. That's just, let's be real about it. You feel like you can't approach the collective because they have made progress. You feel intimidated. This is how you feel. This is not me saying it. This is how you feel. You feel, oh, they have changed. They're probably not interested. They moved on. Yes, they have moved on. And by this time, you should have moved on too. But connect with the collective for what? Like, for what? For what? And then even if you can reattach yourself to someone you no longer deal with, I mean, for what? I mean, what are you going to do with that? You still have the energy. Let's be honest. You still have that energy there of why you separated and what happened. Whether this is family, friend, woman, or man, doesn't matter. You still have that energy residing there. And in that energy is some residue of the first moment in time or inkling that one of you get the chance to pay somebody back on some get even Steven. That's when ish pop off. So for what? Let them be great and you go be great. Yes, they have progress, so you go work on what's for you. Let it be. And all that, oh, if it's yours, set it free. And if it come back, that's mean it's meant to be. No, 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 and no. Set it free and let it be. And if it come back, trust and believe it'll be a mystery. Let it be. That's what divine timing is about. That's what purpose is about. Because things have to happen in divine timing. If that person has had their cycle and their moment and their experience with you on your timeline and it's different for everybody, what makes you think back the same way you got it before? And so what, they make your pinky toe stick up or your big toe stick up. That don't mean you can get that pinky toe or big toe to stick up the same way you did in the past. Trust me, you link up, it's going to be something different. It's going to be something different. You think that's what somebody need to hear, that who trying to link up for some physical motion, for some sexual. You thinking you can get that, but you can't. It's like being an artist or a musician, who's world renowned, makes great music. We got a lot of talented people worldwide, so many gifted people, so many beautiful, talented artists, singers, dancers, rappers, whatever. But any artist that come to mind who's world renowned and has a lot of clout or whatever, they be popping strong, popping real strong for a nice little, for a couple of years. And then they may come and tap back in, and sometimes for some reason, they just can't get that old thing back. Divine timing, purpose, energy. Divine timing, purpose, energy in all things, not just in social relationships, in all things. That's another example. I gave two about karmic energy. Divine timing, purpose, energy. And they may write another song and dang, it ain't do nothing. And write another album and dang, it ain't do nothing. It's because that part of their life path, that part of their journey, it doesn't mean that it's over. It means it's time to pivot in another direction. It doesn't mean that it's over. It just means you're trying to get back something that you didn't already experience. And the divine is saying, and your ancestors are saying, I want you to pivot in another direction. They're not saying your career is over, or you don't need to date nobody no more, or you don't need to have no friends, or just say, oh, you'll never have the career. No, that's not what that means. They're just asking you to pivot. They're asking you to shift your perception. They're asking you to see the forest for the trees. Step into the light, Caroline. Pass the peas like we used to. That's all that is. That's for somebody need to hear that. It doesn't mean that it's over. You don't have to just be a celebrity. I'm speaking of all things. Divine timing and purpose and energy. Divine timing, your purpose and energy. If you've had that moment on this journey right here, you up here, you trying to go back and you wondering why you can't go back. You keep getting that resistance. Every time my hand move, that's that resistance bar. Because your spirit team trying to let you know you've had that mark. You've been great when you were here. We appreciate you when you were here, but now we want you to pivot. We're not saying it's over. We just want you to do something different. Broaden your horizons, man. We are all born with more than one gift. I know we are. If you're watching this and it's something that you're trying to tap into and you're like, I don't know why it's not working. I don't care how many rituals you're doing, whatever. All are welcome on this channel. Doesn't matter what your belief system is. Okay? Some folks tap, and that's their business. Know your magic. Just know yours. Okay? So moving on. It doesn't mean that it's not for you. It just means just to pivot in another direction. Go in another direction. And then watch your ish take off. Somebody need to hear that. Somebody need to hear that. Go in another direction. Make sure it's the right timing, divine timing. The energy will be right for you, especially when it's part of your purpose. Divine timing, energy, purpose. You can't always get that same old thing back. Some tap and get a little bit, but what you're really looking for is this bit. Let's be real. You're looking for success. You're looking for the grand slam. You want the big gulp from 7-Eleven. You want the big gulp. You want the big cup. That's what you're looking for. You're not looking for no mediocre. You ain't looking for that. You're looking for the big one. I've been doing this my whole life. Well, guess what? It's time to do something else for the rest of your life. How about that? Whew. Somebody need to hear that. So I had to deliver. So, the abundance is here. The prosperity is here. The opportunity is here. The connections is here. And this is what they know about you collective. With Empress energy, they darn know is here. The Empress is nurturing, caring, abundant, spiritually inclined. It's here. It's here. This is the 9. 9 of Pentacles. Okay? Whew. Today I got to prove my love. Whew. Make sure you're taking time to fine-tune your spiritual connection. Doesn't matter who you are or what you're working on. Make sure with the Hermit energy here, you could have Virgo placement in your chart. Make sure you're taking time to be in solitude, to be in quiet time, to connect with the divine, to connect with yourself, your inner niggle, your inner wiggle, to see. You see, he or she is looking to see what it is that you need to critique for yourself. Okay, this is not about getting opinions of those outside of you, but going within, connecting with source and seeing, what needs to be worked on further moving forward. Now, this doesn't mean to find 120 things and do it at once. No, this means find one area and work on one thing, one moment at a time at your own pace. This is not a race at all. It can never be a race because there's no one to compete with. Who's going to compete with you? They can't compare. Not when we all are uniquely, individually, divinely created. No one can compare to you, so there is no one to compete. The only person you can compete with is who you were yesterday. So make sure you're taking time. That's for somebody to have moments to yourself. You could have just a very busy life. Maybe you have a large, beautiful family. Okay, I see a very large, beautiful family where there's a lot going on. Maybe, a lot of action. You may have errands to run just about there's 7 days of the week, maybe 5 to 6 days out of the week. You got something to do or somebody got to go somewhere. Maybe your children have leisure activities. Maybe you're responsible for someone in your family, elderly. That could be also you have a household that's just busy. And that's okay. What Spirit is saying, while you're enjoying this new you, this new prosperity and this abundance. And when I say prosperity and abundance collective, we're also talking about peace of mind, because if you don't have peace, you don't have nothing at all. As I always remind you, there are people with millions and billions and trillions of dollars who have no peace. So when I speak of prosperity and abundance, I'm also speaking of having a peace of mind. I'm also speaking of having extreme clarity, not being indecisive, being willing to be still and go within so that you can receive clarity consistently. Not saying that you're perfect and you never need help or advice. Saying that you are resilient, learning to be resilient and resourceful on your own. A mastery is learning how to resolve one's problems or situations as they arrive. Not all the time, but 99.999% of the time, it is possible for you to land on your feet. But you have to be willing to be still, in life sometimes to receive the information or the advice. Okay. So be mindful of that. So when I speak of abundance, I'm also talking about having a peace of mind and having clarity. Okay. Because you can't enjoy your money if you don't have peace or you don't have clarity of how to, what steps to take or what direction to go in, that can create a whole nother issue for a person. Okay. hmm because it's about temperance. Okay, this is Sagittarius energy. You could have this in your chart. Okay, or the person who wants to, they could be the fire sign Sagittarius. They could be, have this energy here, in need of balancing themselves. Okay, in need of connecting spiritually, learning how to harness all of who they are, the past, the present, the good, the bad, the happy, the sad, and co-create with the universe. Okay, to bring things into fruition that they desire. Okay, so there's nothing stopping you from being great but you. There's nothing stopping you. If you're watching Cross Watcher, there's nothing stopping you from being great or living the life that you want but you. You have to take your attention off of other people. You can't be hyper focused on others. You need to be more focused on yourself and give very little attention to the illusions outside of you. Okay? hmm So there's a need to really focus on yourself when you're working on progress, when you want to see a change, when you want to see that success. Okay. Okay. And so on one of the cards I have here, it says, "My future is a golden, sparkly explosion of ucking awareness." Okay. So being truly aware, I just talked about having extreme clarity. So the hermit energy, that's what that's about. Having that extreme clarity, choosing to pause for the call so that you can receive the right information, not being a reactionary and not going around when you have situations sharing your business with everybody and getting all the wrong information and being so quick to move too fast when all you had to do was sit on your. Okay? Be still for a moment. Be still for a moment. Okay? I am my own best friend. Okay. Okay. The last card I have here. I haven't used these in a long time. Get up, show up, and show the world you're a legend. Get up and show up. Show the world that you are a legend. So that means stay persistent and consistent. Stay grateful, stay present, and leave those karmic ties closed. Allow new energy into your life, okay? Because it is here for you. This concludes the read. I hope it assists you for your highest good. Later.